Good afternoon, sir. My name is Manoa, and my question is, since you mentioned that the tourism sector comprises 40% of the GDP, so what I was wondering is there another alternative industry that the government has that we can rely on to earn the same revenue that the tourism industry got?
No, it's actually a very good question. I mean, some of the things that we've been doing in the past number of years have been trying to diversify our economic base. So if you look at the, I mean, I think, I don't know if I presented it over here, but I've done it for some schools, where you have, it shows you the different sectors that contributes towards the economy. So like we have the financial services sector, we have the retail and wholesale sector, we have ITC. There's a number of areas that we, that contributes, and we've been trying to grow those areas. And you're completely right. I mean, it's like putting all your eggs in one basket. Fiji, at one point in time in our history, was essentially just completely dependent on the sugarcane industry. Completely. In particular, prior to the 1960s. Fiji basically grew because of sugarcane. That was the only export we had. Then, of course, in the 1960s, we had the hotels like Korolevu Hotel, the Fijian, the Shangri-La started opening up. And of course, then we had other hotels that opened up, and tourism sector then started to grow too. And of course, because of land lease issues, the sugarcane sector, took a huge steep dive. One of the areas that we are looking at, we think there's a lot of potential, of course, in ICT. Unfortunately, prior to COVID-19, we were in discussions with some people from the Silicon Valley, where, because, most young people in Fiji are very IT savvy. I don't just mean Facebook, but just generally. People are, interested in technology. So there are things like coding. We are looking at developing courses at FNU to get you young people who are interested in the ITC sector to do coding, program writing, etc. And we wanted to start that courses here for us to be able to get young Fijians to provide those services from Fiji. I'll give you an example. I was in Bangladesh last year, and I met a lot of people. I went because Fiji is the chair of the Commonwealth Telecommunications Organization, but I met a lot of the different chambers of commerce in Bangladesh. The Samsung phone that you have in Korea, where Samsung is based, their IT people every day, for example, work on new products. So when you develop new products, write new products, you need people to troubleshoot, find the faults with it, etc. When they stopped working in the afternoon, in the evening in Korea, they would sell all the, they would send, all the stuff they'd done during the day to Bangladesh in Dhaka. And when Korea sleeps, Dhaka is awake. And throughout the night, these people in Bangladesh, these young people who are working on the IT programs, they would troubleshoot. They would do all that work at night. So by the time these Koreans came back to work in the morning, they would have sent back their stuff to them. So those are the kind of opportunities we are looking for Fiji, in particular for the young people, because we speak English. A lot of people don't realize what a great asset that is. We speak English, we are IT savvy. So that's one area we still want to look at. We're only one flight away from San Francisco, which is where the Silicon Valley. That's one opportunity. Over here in Lautoka at Navutu, where you had the FSC site, FNPF has recently bought that site. We're working with the Ministry of Ministry of Commerce Trade to develop the site and set up what we call a clean manufacturing plant, or manufacturing facilities available for people to come and set up shop. I don't know how many of you have been lately to Nandi. If you go to Nandi in Namaka, you see the Fiji Airways Aviation Academy there. You see those simulators. Now, prior to COVID-19, we already had a number of airlines that wanted to send their pilots to come and do the simulation courses in Fiji. So that's sort of diversifying our economy. So we are looking at that. Now with COVID-19, there's also opportunities in what we call in manufacturing and assembly lines. Because a lot of the manufacturing assembly lines are in China and various other parts of Asia. Some countries now want to bring it closer to home. So Fiji is closer, for example, to Australia and New Zealand. And if we're able to, get the mechanics of that right, we can offer ourselves as an assembly and manufacturing site. So those are the areas we are looking at quite significantly. But you're absolutely right. We have to, diversify. And we've been doing that, but of course now more so. And that's very important to do so. This is again, it goes back to what I was saying about wanting to do what you're good at, because then you can always be very creative and come up with new ideas. The same way we've been saying with the tourism sector, we want tourists from other parts of the world, other than Aussies, Australia and New Zealand. We want them. We want more of them to come. But as a percentage of our arrivals, we want more tourists to come from, this is pre-COVID, from India, from China, no more from North America. Because if one country does not do well economically, does not mean that therefore your tourism sector comes to a complete stop. You know what I mean? It's what you call diversification of risk. That's very important.